Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. There are certain champions that I've always been a fan of because their utility is so unique. And several of you were like me. When Kabooooomm announced that Nebula was getting a buff, we said, what? Why? She's amazing, as is. Her synergy with Proxima Midnight to start a fight with 10 shock charges. So many champions in the game, outside of Korg, Molman, etc., aren't immune to shock. And she's got some consistent regen. Oh no. And actually, you can look back. I had a video where I was seriously wondering if they were going to make Nebula worse, if it was going to be a hood situation. But, in Kaboooomm's defense, she is an example where you cross your fingers, you really hope they don't screw over a champion you like that's been in the game for years, and they don't. They made her even better. My favorite part of the buff, personally, is you actually can gain shock charges quicker. The first time that I held block and the circle was like this, I was like, what? Am I fast forwarding somehow in real time? Nope. It just got better. So, Nebula is now a legitimate, and maybe she was always, but especially now, legitimate Alliance War Slayer in the top tiers of Alliance War. And this guy, Kaboooooomm, courtesy of my man Kamikaze Turtle, brought in his 6-star rank 3 Awakened Nebula, along with Archangel and Red Mags, to this, I believe it's a rank 3 6-star Nimrod boss. And let's just check out how Nebula can do. Now, no Proxima Midnight, so you don't start the fight with those shock charges. And the defender is immune to stun, which you would think would maybe hurt Nebula, because at least when I play her, it's all about transferring those shock charges via parry. And if they're immune to stun, maybe you can still transfer them, maybe you can't. But we'll see. Charging up to 10 and gets hit with the heavy, but doesn't care. It's all about replenishing, maybe at 20, because 20 is the max, replenishing those shock charges once you get to a special 2, which will then put 40 on it. Okay, so transfers the shock. There you go. And now fires the special 2. Let's check out this 40 damage. 38,000 per tick. And suddenly down to 24%. Now this is where the fight gets a little nerve-wracking because it's taking quite a bit of block damage, but that nice regen, building some of that back up. Now the regen there, of course, is from the 6-star ability to gain some of that block damage back. Fires off another special 2. This time the shock damage easily melts him. So, in this case, it's all about transferring the shock damage, building the shocks up, letting the regen, and having that 6-star helps. Maybe if it was a 5-star, already would have been knocked out. And obviously 6 stars have a higher attack and higher health pool. But on top of that, it's waiting to fire that special 2 once you've maximized those 20 charges to get to 40 charges, which took out 3/4 of his health. I love Nebula. She is such a beyond God tier option when you can use those shock charges. And the thing is, I always think about this game like Pokemon, where if you can't, just bring in somebody else. You have 3 attackers in War and Alliance Quest. You have 5 attackers in most side quest and obviously event quest. So yeah, if you have somebody who's shock immune, you should have somebody else in your arsenal that you can bring in. But when they're not, Nebula is such a great choice. So thank you so much for the video submission, Kabooooomm, with 2 M's and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 O's. Congrats on the one shot. Didn't even start with full health. Didn't matter. You love to see it.